pointer the night train to nowhere, in particular. The platform is nearly empty when you arrive, just a scattering of yellow lights along the edge of the concrete, and a clock that seems to have stopped caring what time it actually is. Somewhere above you, a speaker crackles with an announcement too soft to understand, and you don't need to understand it. You already know where you're going. Nowhere in particular. That's the whole point. Your bag is light. You packed it without thinking too hard. A book you may or may not open, a flask of something warm, a sweater for later. The train sits waiting on the tracks, long and quiet, its windows glowing amber against the deep blue of the evening. Steam, or maybe just cold breath turning visible in the night air, drifts along the side of the carriages and dissolves before it reaches you. You step up and in. The corridor is narrow and carpeted in a deep red that has gone soft with age, the kind of carpet that swallows footsteps. Brass fittings catch the light at the edges of doorways. You find your compartment. Small, private, with two long seats facing each other and a fold-down table between them. And you slide the door shut behind you, the sound soft and final. You settle into the seat by the window. The cushion gives slightly beneath you, worn into a shape by countless other travelers who sat right here, looking out at this same view, though it's always changing. You shrug off your coat and fold it beside you. The overhead light is dim, barely there, and there's a small reading lamp built into the wall that you could switch on if you wanted to, but you don't, not yet. The platform light is enough for now. A whistle sounds somewhere far down the train, thin and clear in the cold air. Then there's a shift. Not a lurch. Nothing so abrupt, just the smallest settling, a kind of exhale that travels the length of the train, and the platform begins to slide backward past your window. The yellow lights stretch into streaks and then fall away entirely. And you are moving. The first thing you notice is the rhythm. It comes up through the floor, through the seat, through your own body, before your mind has even registered it as sound. A steady clack, clack, clack. The wheels finding the seams in the rails over and over, patient and unhurried. Not loud. More like a heartbeat that belongs to the train itself. Something old and reliable that's always been there and always will be. You let your head rest back against the seat. Outside, the city is already thinning. Fewer lights, more darkness between them, until the buildings give way to something softer. Hedgerows, low stone walls. The black shapes of trees standing alone in fields, their branches bare or full, depending on some season you're not thinking about. Because right now, there's only the window and what passes beyond it. A field opens up, pale under a sky that's clearing. The grass looks silver where the light touches it, and you can just make out the shapes of something grazing far off. Sheep, maybe, clustered together in the stillness, none of them looking up as the train passes. They've heard this sound 1,000 times. It doesn't mean anything to them anymore. The train moving through the night is just part of how things are now, like the moon, like your own breathing. The carriage creaks gently as it rounds a long, slow curve, and for a moment you can see the lit windows of the cars ahead, strung out like a chain of small fires across the dark landscape. Then the curve straightens, and they disappear from view again. And it's just you, and your window, and the world sliding by. A town appears in the distance, just a cluster of lights at first, scattered and uneven, growing slowly larger as the train approaches. You watch a single lit window in a house near the tracks. curtains drawn, but glowing gold. And you wonder, without any urgency, who's awake in there. Someone reading, maybe. Or someone standing at a stove, stirring something slow and warm. Or maybe no one, just a light left on out of habit. The way some people leave a lamp burning so the house doesn't feel empty when they come home. The train doesn't stop. It slows, just slightly, as it passes through. You feel the rhythm change, the clack, clack, stretching out, becoming clack, clack, clack. And through the window, you catch glimpses of a station platform, empty benches, a clock on the wall that you can't quite read before it's gone. A signal light glows red. Then as you pass beneath it, you imagine it turning green again behind you, releasing the track for whatever comes next. Though nothing is coming next. There's only this train moving through this night. You reach for the flask beside you and unscrew the cap, and steam rises from it in a thin curl that catches the low light before vanishing. The warmth of the cup against your palms is just a simple physical fact. Heat against skin, something to hold on to that doesn't ask anything of you. You take a sip. It's exactly as warm as you hoped it would be. Outside, the fields keep unrolling. A fence post, leaning slightly, its shadow long and thin in the moonlight. A stand of trees, their tops moving in a wind you can't feel from inside the warm carriage. A pond, maybe, catching the sky and holding it still, and silver on its surface, undisturbed except for the ripple where something, a duck perhaps, or just the wind, has touched it. The train passes over a small bridge, and for a few seconds the sound changes entirely. The clack, clack becomes a deeper, hollow rumble, an echo bouncing back up from below, and you can just make out the dark glint of a river beneath you, slow moving, reflecting nothing in particular. Then the bridge is behind you, and the rhythm returns to what it was. Steady and unbroken, like nothing happened at all. You notice your own reflection in the window now, faint and translucent, overlaid on the landscape outside so that you seem to be sitting out there too, among the fields and the fence posts and the distant lights. It's a strange, gentle kind of doubling. You, here in the warm compartment, and you, out there in the cold dark, moving at exactly the same speed, never falling behind. Your eyelids feel heavier than they did a few minutes ago. The seat has shaped itself to you now, or you've shaped yourself to it. It's hard to tell which. The blanket folded on the seat beside you looks inviting, and you pull it across your lap, feeling its weight settle over you, soft and heavy in just the right way. Another town slides past, smaller this time, just a handful of houses, a church spire catching a thin edge of moonlight, a single dog barking somewhere that you can't hear over the sound of the train, but can almost imagine, a small, distant, ordinary sound swallowed up by the night, and then it's gone, folded back into darkness, and the fields return. You think, vaguely, about all the people who might be on this train right now, in other compartments down the corridor. Someone reading by a small lamp. Someone already asleep with their head against the window, or just sitting quietly like you, watching the same fields from a slightly different angle. You'll never meet them. You don't need to. All of you are here together, moving through the same night, none of you needing anything from each other. The lights of another distant town appear, and this time you barely register them before they're gone again, smudged by your own tiredness into something soft and impressionistic, like a watercolor left out in light rain. The clack of the wheels has slowed somehow, Or maybe it's just that your sense of time has slowed with it, stretching each repetition out longer than the last. Your cup is empty now, and you set it down on the little table without quite deciding to. The blanket is warm. The seat holds you. Outside, the fields keep going. There will always be more fields, more fence posts, more sleeping towns with their single-lit windows, more bridges and rivers and stands of trees standing patient in the dark. The train doesn't need you to watch any of it. It will keep moving regardless, steady and unhurried, carrying you through the night toward nowhere in particular, which is exactly where you wanted to go. Your eyes close, just for a moment, just to rest them. The rhythm continues underneath you. Clack, clack, clack. Soft now, distant, like something heard through a wall, like something that will still be there whenever you next think to listen for it. I think you've already left this carriage behind, off somewhere quieter than even this. That's all right. That's where this train was always headed. I'll leave the light low and the window cracked just slightly, in case you want to come back to it another night. Sleep well, wherever you've gotten to.